Hey everybody. It's been a year since my last video, and the reason it's been a year is because I moved from San Diego to Austin, Austin to Santa Fe, and then Santa Fe to Boulder. And within that year, a whole lot of stuff happened. So I've been doing a whole lot of healing, physically, emotionally, mentally, lots of death and illness, and really just deep cleansing. And so I decided to do it today because I felt this pull to share what I have learned within that year of being a manifesting generator, and how it follows up with the last video, which I've gotten a lot of requests for. And for those of you who like to complain, let me just make sure and clear it up now that this is not going to resonate with everybody. If it does, great. Take it, use it. I love it. I love being able to share the experience of being a manifesting generator and the charts and everything of that sort. And if it doesn't, move on. No big deal. There's no reason to complain about it. You think that would be common sense, right? Anyways, so what I have come to terms with is being a manifesting generator. Depending on your chart, you can be an extremely powerful person. And I want to thank one of the last comments about asking if in my chart I had a specific area that was lit up, if you will, where my aura basically creates pregnancy. And yes, I do. And I am so thankful that you said that, because I was able to do more research on that and find that no wonder why so many people get pregnant after they meet me. And that's one of the cycles of they come in, strong interaction, and they leave, and then they get pregnant. And so yes, I have that aspect of my chart, and I also have the aspect of money. So people who find me, and it's a natural thing. It's not people who seek me out specifically for those reasons. It's a natural thing. If they find me, they come to me, they end up making a lot of money on a business venture or getting pregnant or all of those things that we talked about last time. And the thing is, that is a really beautiful thing. And I know there have been a lot of people who also feel the loneliness behind that, of being that person who has these strong interactions, thinking like, great, this is something for both of us. Like it's a mutual interaction, right? And then so short-lived, and here we are left behind wondering what the fuck happened. And so I want you to know that I do understand that loneliness. But my wish for you is to see the beauty in it, and to see that the gift that we give people is so powerful and so rare that not everyone gets to do that. Not everyone gets to be that being and hold that energy for others. So on the other end of it, being that person that's left behind wondering what the fuck, the way to hone in on that. And this was the question that a lot of people were asking. How do you turn that energy inwards so you also reap the benefits of what you give? And while we may not be able to give ourselves what we're giving others, there is a way in which we can completely be respectful of ourselves and give ourselves the energy that we are giving others, instead of giving everything that we have away to them. So, for example, it is pretty typical for someone to come into our lives and to feel this strong pull. Let's just go with romance for an example, okay? We feel this connection that's like from the heavens, and we're like, oh my God, this is my soulmate. Like everything's lined up. They like this, they like this. We're just so connected. And we feel it so deeply, right? We're feelers. We feel it so deeply. And we think like, yes, I'm so thankful I found this. And then fizzles out a week later for them to go off and find someone that they end up marrying like in a few months, right? So let's take that one for example. Ouch, that fucking hurts. And it's a slap in the face. It feels like, why did I deserve this, right? Like that's where we go so easily, is to that, why did I deserve this? What did I do to bring that on? And what I've learned is, for every interaction that you enter, the second you feel that intensity, whether it is romance, whether it's business, whether it's, anything of that sort, anything that you're coming into contact with another being and you feel this intensity, I want you to stop, breathe, and think like, okay, have the expectation that this is short term. And that is not a negative stance. It's not to do it in like a, I'm going to think that nothing's ever for me, and kind of being cynical, I guess is the best way to put it. It's not that you're going to be cynical. It's that you're going to start honoring yourself and giving yourself that energy instead of directing it towards them, which, great, yes, allow yourself to be there for them and to give them what you need, to give them what they need, and be in that space. Just like, okay, if they need a conversation because they're having a bad day and they found me because of my energy, because I have this beautiful, powerful energy that they needed to be around today, I'm going to be that person, and I'm not going to expect anything more. And so to just be there, just examine, just feel, and allow yourself to be that giver for them in that moment. And if things are supposed to go further, they will progress naturally. You don't have to keep putting yourself out there. Allow them to make the moves. Like if they want to stay in contact, they will contact you. And pay attention to the events that happen surrounding that. Okay, what I mean by that is there's going to be moments where someone says, hey, let's go do this. And you're thinking like, cool, like there's this deep connection and I'm really excited about this. Let me go and see what this is. And so they invite you somewhere and something happens. Oh shit, my car just broke down, or I ran out of gas, or my dog's sick, or something comes up in that time. Pay attention to those. Those are signs that are telling you not right now or not ever. It might not be something that you need to continue to redirect your energy. And on the other side too, I strongly suggest giving a 2-time trial. Like if you reach out to somebody and they accept, great. Keep going with it. Just allow it to progress naturally. Don't put any expectations on it. Just allow it to be what it is and go with the flow. If you notice that there's like, oh, I can't do that, I have this going on, and you try a second time at a later date and it's the same thing, cut the loss right there. Just like, okay, don't be sad about it. Don't be upset. Be grateful that you were given the signs and the clarity to move on and not to continue your energy in that direction. It's really hard for us to do that because we feel so intensely and we want those intense, beautiful connections in our lives with people where we can continue to grow with a person, to whether it's romance or business or friendship, anything of that sort. We want those connections, and that's why it feels so off-putting every time someone comes into our lives and we're like, yes, this amazing romance, and then it's like, oh, a week later, no, sorry, I can't do this anymore, I met so-and-so. And yes, that it sucks. So just continue following the guidance and allowing yourself to be yours first. In fact, I committed to myself more than ever in the last year, simply for the fact that I kept coming into those interactions, and I will use myself as an example, where I kept meeting people who I felt really strong connections towards, and some were romantic, some were business opportunities, and I felt my excitement, like right away. I was like, okay, this is so good. Like this person is so amazing, and they're everything I wanted in a person. And I thought that I would never find this again, or, the list goes on. And I would stop myself and be like, wait a second. I don't know this person, and I'm going off of this energy that I have felt so many times before. And in the past, has anything ever come of that intensity for myself? No. Okay, so what do they need from me? Why are they coming into my life? What can I offer them? And when I started doing that, I started realizing, so I would be like a week in with this person of just like, okay, let me just feel it out. No expectations, no ideas that this person was meant for me long-term in any sort of sense. And I would say within a week, I started realizing, wow, this person is not who I thought they were, and they are not a match for me in any sense. I was simply there to help them find this piece that they had been needing for so long, and I was that map. I was their map, to get them there. And it's been such a huge transformation. It's like I was tested so many times to see, like, Do you finally get it? Do you finally see that it is beautiful that you get to be this person for so many people, to help them succeed, to help them find themselves, to help them start progressing along their path? And will I say that I have finally stepped into mine as I wanted to? No, not 100%. Like, I'm still working on that. However, because I've stopped giving my energy so deeply to other people when they come in, I've been able to direct my energy so much more into what I'm working on, including my massage practice, my somatic massage practice, my coaching, which I'm doing more human design coaching in my coaching process. And it's been really powerful. It's been extremely transformative because I stopped and really started paying attention to my interactions. I know I touched on it last time, and a lot of people understood and resonated with me that I don't connect with a lot of people in this life. I just don't. I find a lot of people to be shallow and lost, just so lost in the world, and so just doing everything that everybody else is doing, following a fad instead of listening to their own intuition and listening to their bodies and really just finding themselves. I feel like a lost fish who has no family around them, and that's okay. It's a beautiful thing, and it's taken me a long time to be okay with that, because when those interactions do happen that stay long term, they are so powerful and so beautiful in such different ways. They're not overwhelming in the sense of like, I have to have this. It's like this, like, oh, okay, I can be fine and I can just be myself around them. And when those interactions do come in, you'll recognize them because they're not so like that extreme intensity of need. Like that, oh, I have to have this. It's so completely different. And it's beautiful. So that's my recommendation, is to take your time and really fill out interactions. Because if you give yourself that space, not jumping into relationships, not jumping into business partnerships or friendships, really just being okay with being by yourself and being alone and not having these connections that we desire, we find that we always get what we need and we always help who we're supposed to. And it's a powerful thing. I think it's just really transformative to be able to take that situation, take a person who comes to you, see them and have total excitement for them, and to know like, okay, like I have something to offer you, let's do this. And you don't have to figure out what it is, just be yourself and just go through the interaction completely heartfully, like directed with your heart, and no expectations of what you're going to give them or what they're going to get from it. There's no reason to overthink anything. Just be there. Just be there with the knowing like, okay, there's something I'm offering this person. Let me do it. That's one of my jobs in this life. Let me do it. And go with it. And allow yourself to progress with them naturally. If more interactions come, great. I had a friend who came into my life, and it was really strong at first, and same thing, I was like, yes, there's like this intense connection, like this has to be something amazing. I don't know what, I don't know, how it's gonna look. And I stepped back, I was like, okay, let me take this slow. And the progression happened, and we actually ended up hanging out for a month, which was longer than my typical things. Like usually they fizzle out within a week. And so a month passes, and I'm like, wow, she's not exactly who I thought she was. Let me continue seeing this. And it continued to play out, and I see her every once in a while. It's not a regular thing, and I accept it as exactly as it is. See, I had this really self-sabotaging thing that I would do where if it wasn't what I wanted it to be, I was pissed and I didn't want to have anything to do with it. I didn't want to have anything to do with them if they didn't want me the way that I wanted it to be, or if the business didn't look this way or anything. Like so many situations, my ego would be so bruised and I would just walk away, and I never wanted to have anything to do with that person again. And this time I was like, great, this is what my interaction is with her. It only happens on these terms, and that's totally okay because I am learning so much from it. And every time I have an interaction, I am getting something from it because I'm learning about me on a deeper level than I ever have before. And there is so much beauty in that. So if you want to take anything away from it, you can go through those interactions and realize like, oh, what wound is this bringing up for me? What am I tapping into that I haven't allowed myself to see before? And take those and grow from them. You know, like, we're not just giving to them, like, we're giving them like so much without having to do anything, and they may never know about it, and that's okay. Like, it's an egotistical thing to want them to know that we're doing this for them, right? So we don't need them to know that, and we don't need to know why we're doing it. And if we take that and turn it inwards and realize like, oh, I can learn this about myself, like this person did this way, I don't resonate with that. How can I change this within myself? Because everything that bothers us about another person is something within ourselves that we have yet not discovered within ourselves. And so that's really powerful. So stop. Allow the interactions to happen naturally. You don't have to give all of your energy up. Just be the calm in that intensity. You know, it's what happens is we are usually the one that steps up the intensity when that situation comes in, and so they see us and they're like, holy shit, and they pull away a lot quicker. Whereas they could potentially be a good friend, not a lover, not what we had hoped for, right? But if we keep that energy down and we're at a calm space, we can be on the same page and realize like, oh, I am offering you something so beautiful, and it doesn't have to look the way that I wanted it to, because it's serving everyone always. And so keep that energy just calm, because our intensity can be so overwhelming, especially Leo manifesting generators. Holy shit. And seriously, mixing astrology with the human design and realizing like, yes, human design, powerful. Certain astrological signs being a human design, it intensifies that. And so we can be so overwhelming to some people, when instead we can be the calm in that intensity storm that brews right away. And really like getting them to see like, okay, we don't have to like be this big picture. It can be so simple and so easy and so gentle on us both. Let's just take this so slow, no matter what it is. And that really starts with you loving you first and really accepting the relationship with yourself. And I'll be honest that through this transformation, through this last year, I have, like I said, I've been tested so many times, and each time these different people have come into my life, I had to stop and be like, I love myself so much that no, I'm not willing to settle. And settling, you might think like this person feels so perfect and you're in so much alignment. And then when you actually step back and give that love to yourself and let it play out, you realize like, holy shit, we would have never been good together. This is an old pattern that I've continued over and over and over. And you might just end up loving being single and being by yourself. The last year has really intensified my liking to be alone. I always was searching for that deep connection, that interaction that we really want with people. And when I started turning it inwards, I'm like, oh, like I love being in my house alone and not talking to a lot of people, not giving my energy up all the time, and just really taking it in, because I felt this need to be out in public to, I'm supposed to have this interaction with this person or this person, and it's like, no, like I want to give that energy to me and focus on what I want to do, what I want to do for myself. And that's how you turn it inwards. You simply give yourself that love and that intensity to yourself, that excitement of when you feel something boiling up in your stomach and you have this idea, run with it. That's like those are the interactions that we have where we think like, this idea, this is what's happening. When you have that for yourself and you're like, holy shit, this business idea just popped up in my head, that feels like a big yes. Let me give energy to that and see what it comes out to be. Might not be anything. Again, it still might not be anything. But it might be, that's yourself though. That's you giving you that energy. And it's much better to direct all that intensity into yourself than draining yourself, trying to push it to be something else with other people. And so that's all I really want to say. It's a beautiful gift. Honor it, treasure it. Don't let ego get in the way. It's so easy to identify with, yes, well, I'm this magical person and I can do this for you and you don't even know it. You should be thankful. It can be really overwhelming for us when we realize like we're doing this for so many people, and it can go to our head so quickly. Instead of just being like, you know what? This is who I am and this is what I do and nobody needs to know about it. No one needs to know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing and that's okay. That's all that matters. Anyway, that's like a long drawn out version of what I wanted to say. I kind of wanted to keep it a little bit shorter than this, but I'm still learning how to find my voice again. It's been so long and I stopped doing speeches, bigger speeches lately, and just working one-on-one with clients. So this is me finding my voice again, and it's fun, but I just really want everyone to know that I understand that feeling of loneliness and that want for something to ignite from that intensity with somebody. I get it, totally. Just know that it will happen for you when it's supposed to. We are in the midst of finding ourselves and really drawing into what we want to do and what we want to create, because we're always thinking that we have to have something else to create. So it has to be another person that creates that energy for us when we are that energy. We are that creative energy. And when you realize that, that's where things take off. And you try different things and you find new passions and new drives, and you find you. Like, that's who you've been looking for this whole time, is you. So just allow that space. Don't throw yourself into anything. Like, honor that moment of celibacy in every essence of life, choosing you. When you feel that intensity, choose you. And don't be afraid to give them what they need, or don't try to retract from it or be like, no, I'm not going to talk to you because of this intensity. Just be like, okay, there's this intensity. This is what it is. Let it play out. And I hope that something magical does come for you, because we are in this transformative time and there are magical things happening right now. And we will find those connections. We always do. I have one friend who, yes, unfortunately, she's moving far away back to Sweden. However, she is that family for me. She is that person of few, like very few people who I know will be there and who I can always call and talk to. And we have such a naturally good connection, and it's just easy. There is no extreme, intensities, and those do happen, and they will continue to happen, and we will find romance, and we will find success. It's just about taking the steps to find us first, and we have to live in that. We have to learn to really live in that space. So yeah, I hope you find that, and I hope you find your love and your magic, and just like really falling in love with yourself and understanding that you are such a gift. You are exerting so much energy at all times in such healthy, loving ways. So don't overwhelm yourself. Just allow yourself to be, and just do whatever comes naturally. That's all. I hope everyone has a beautiful evening, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.